Greetings, class, and welcome to Horror 101. It is I, your humble teacher and guide, Professor Macabro. Class, you're probably wondering, Professor, where the hell have you been? It's been months since we've seen you last. And class, I have to admit, I went on a bit of a bender with the power of the Infinity Gauntlet. That whole thing about power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely is gloriously true. Because, oh man, was I corrupted by the power of the gauntlet. But something awoke me from my drunken stupor, and that's Halloween. Halloween is upon us, class. It's October. Granted, we're already halfway through October, but don't you mind that. The good professor snapped from his drunken stupor and his drugs, alcohol, and, escorts to be back with you all and share some Halloween goodness. Now, as I put my goggles in order, after I sobered myself up, I decided to pick up some horror movies. And you know me, class, I like to go all out for you. So, I will share with you some horror pickups that I got, and be warned, there are a lot of them. So, in no particular order, because I just got them all, first off is Deliver Us from Evil. I like how they set this thing up as the D from Deliver Us with evil, so it says devil. Very atmospheric movie about a detective that is trying to solve a series of murders. But of course, supernatural things are awry. Very, very atmospheric and good movie, in my opinion. Next up, Carrie 2. Actually, it's called The Rage Carrie 2. A sort of sequel to the first Carrie movie, which is a classic in horror. In this one of the surviving characters of the first one encounters another girl that is suffering from bullying, but she also has telekinetic abilities. Not as good as the original, I will freely say. But you can't have the sequel to Carrie without also owning the remake, starring Chloe Grace Moretz. This one is a remake of the first one, but it takes more elements from the book. And some things are updated that are, make kind of sense. Other things fail miserably, I will admit. They changed the ending to be more accord to the book, which I'm sorry to say I've never read, but yeah, the thing I've noticed about Stephen King books is that they have good setup, have good characters, everything works great, and until the ending, it's like he just gives up and pulls something out of his ass, and you have meteors falling into the house. Now, there is another Carrie movie that I would like to add, but that is the direct-to-TV Carrie remake. Supposedly that was supposed to be a TV series, kind of like The Incredible Hulk, where Carrie is trying to escape and goes from state to state. But I've never seen that on DVD. Next up, Snowpiercer. It's a post-apocalyptic movie where everything went fucked up and the last survivors of humanity are on this train. But humanity being what they are, at the front of the train you have your high-class people, and at the end of the train you have basically your human garbage. And the people at the end of the train are not happy, so they want to go to the front of the train, and the people at the front of the train don't want to change the status quo. But it's a very, very good movie, starring Chris Evans from Who's Captain America. Next up, Alien Hunter. I have yet to see this one, but it stars James Spader. And he's cool. I like James Spader. But I did see the trailer, and it basically looks like a ripoff of The Thing. Next up is another movie I have not seen, but I picked it up because of the awesome cover, Witch House. I know very little about this movie other than the synopsis, but it looks like a really good and fun movie. I will apologize if I don't give a very detailed review of this. Like I said, I just got out of a very, very long bender of booze, boobs, and drugs. So I apologize if I haven't actually gotten cut up with this. But I was able to add this, Survival of the Dead. The last, well, one of two last, well, I suppose I should say three, of the last Romero movies I needed to get. This is actually George E. Romero's last movie in his Dead universe. Better than the last movie, but still nowhere near his greatness. The last movies I need is Day of the Dead and the Night of the Living Dead remake, which was not done by George Romero, but I still need that one because it's part of the series. But now I have Survival, which is one of the three I was missing. This one, this goes especially, this is a shout out to my good and dear friend, Clowny. Frankenfish. He's a big fan of fish horror movies, or water horror movies, and this looks right up his alley. You would think it's a crocodile, but no, it's actually just a fish. Next up, this is a much maligned movie. It was supposed to be one thing, but it bombed, and it didn't, follow through. And this is Dracula Untold. This was supposed to be the start of Universal Studios' Dark Universe. Think of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where they bring together all these characters, but in a big Universal monster scale. This was supposed to be the first one, but apparently it bombed so hard they discarded that idea, which is kind of perplexing because they do set up a lot of things in this one. Personally, I thought the main character, or the main actor, was pretty good as Dracula, and they do set up some interesting things, in my opinion. I love vampires. They are my favorite of the monsters in any sort of science fiction, and Dracula is the lord of the vampires. It is nowhere as good as the Bela Lugosi vampire Dracula version. It's not even as good as the Francis Ford Coppola. It has some good elements, but I will freely admit it's not the best. Next up, picked up Hellraiser Inferno. The Hellraiser series has been hit or miss for your good old pal Macabro. The first and second one, really, really good. Third one, also good. After that, the whole thing just went down the crapper, I'm sorry to say. This one is a blind buy. As much as I love vampire movies, I have not seen all the vampire movies that there are out there. But I bought this, and I decided to pick it up. It's done by a French director called Jean Rollin, and it's the Vampire Collection. But it has some really, really good titles, like The Rape of the Vampire, The Shiver of the Vampire, Requiem of a Vampire, and The Nude Vampire. Now, the good thing about this is that it's done by the French, and the French are very loose with their sexuality. At least that's what I've been led to believe with all these French movies. So I am looking forward to enjoying this box set. Still sealed, still new. Like I said, still getting around to watching this. But, the titles themselves sound like a lot of fun. Next, we have Zombie Night. Blind buy, don't know anything about it, so can't really talk about it. This one, I have not seen either movie, but it stars the man himself, the changed horror, Bruce Campbell. And this is the man with the screaming brain and alien apocalypse. They appear to be really cheesy Bruce Campbell movies, and the one thing that Bruce Campbell does well is cheesy horror. He gives it his all in his own particular style, so I am looking forward to watching these two movies for good old Hallows Eve. Next up, the original 13 Ghosts. I still need to get the remake, but I wanted to enjoy the original first. And this also looks like a lot of fun. It's about this haunted house that is cursed with 12 ghosts. 12 ghosts are stuck in this mansion until a 13th ghost is created so they can be free. Ah, yes. Lots of good fun, in my opinion. Now this one, it's sort of sci-fi horror, and it's the astronauts. See, I'm still getting over my booze and drug and sex thing that my words fail me. Which is sad if you're a professor, but bear with me, class. The Astronaut's Wife with Johnny Depp and Charlize Theron. It's about this astronaut that goes into space and comes back a different person. So the astronaut's wife has to deal with this person that seems to be possessed. Yes. Interesting. Next one I picked up is what I am very happy about, and this is The Horror of Dracula. I am so happy to add the second of the Hammer movies to my collection, since the only prior one I had was Revenge of Frankenstein. But this is the first Christopher Lee Dracula movie. In the UK, it's just called Dracula, but here we got it as Horror of Dracula. And I can't wait to sink my teeth into this. And I hope I can someday add the rest of the Hammer Dracula movies. I already own this one, but I don't own this particular version. And this is John Carpenter's The Thing. The one I have is your standard DVD release, but this one has a very cool ice sort of slipcover that makes it look very awesome. I believe it does have some special features that the other version I have doesn't have, so I am happy to double dip on horror, especially a horror movie as good as this. Next one is Face, an Asian movie about a guy that reconstructs dead people, and by doing so, he taps into something horrifying, and he bites a little bit more than he expected with this. I love the atmosphere and the mood of the Asian horror movies. Japan, Taiwan, Korea, they do make some really good atmospheric horror movies, which unfortunately tend to get lost in translation when the Americans decide to do it. The next one is Endgame, inspiration for Leatherface. I vaguely remember seeing this. I have to pop it in again and watch it, but I vaguely remember this being pretty good. And of course, the inspiration to Leatherface. Next one is another one I'm happy I got, is Oculus, about a curse mirror that turns people insane. I bought it and watched it mostly because of the girl from Doctor Who. I think she's super hot. I have a thing for redheads. I don't know why. It's like red is a predominant color in my life. But this was pretty good, and I enjoyed the idea of the mirror fucking with people's notions of reality. And it was really good. I highly recommend Oculus. Well, class, I still have a couple more movies to go, but I don't want to bore you with a half-hour-long video. So, I will cut this here, and we will see each other next time with the part 2 of my horror pickups. I'm back, class. Pinky promise, I will no longer use the gauntlet to fall into my brilliant depravity. Oh, but what times did I have? But the time for fun is past. Time to get back to work and plan for my ultimate ascension. Oh, did I say that last part out loud? Forget that. Till next time, class, this has been Professor Macabro in my part of the Vargas Vault, because I actually forgot. I took care of the other guy, and am now part of, and control everything. But until I see you again, this is Professor Macabro for Horror 101, thanking you all, and wishing you, and everyone out there, a good evening. I'm back!